Hi everybody. This is Adam, the Paraprince, and um, I I've got something that I want to talk about just because um, I actually I'm not necessarily looking for advice, but I would love to hear um, people's thoughts and opinions about this. Well, if you've watched my videos, then you already know like I'm single. I'm not dating anyone. I have an incredibly hard time just meeting people in general. Um, and this this involves a girl. I'm not gonna say her name, but she was the one who reached out to me. This all started on March 21st. And yes, I know all of the dates because I am a hopeless romantic. And it's like I said in a previous video, even if I know it's a scammer, and I know this is so pathetic, even if I know that it's a scammer, I still want to put just that 1% percentage of, even if it is a scammer or somebody who is just lying, there just might be that 1% of they truly do care about me. Even when there's nothing but red flags, I still am, there's no other word for it but pathetic. And with this person, supposedly both her parents have passed, sadly, and her mom was originally from Spain. Her father was from Fresno, California. When it comes to her social media, she only has Instagram. And when it comes to her phone, all she has is a Google text number. That's how we communicate, is just through text only. And we have only had 5 or 6 arguments, and not really arguments, because they all stemmed from me answering a question with no. Meaning, no, I don't have $125 to send to you to help with, personal items, tampons, food, all of that stuff. And also about, this person is also having, stomach pains and stuff, but it's just every other day. And supposedly they have a stomach ulcer. And they've already had their labs and stuff done, but they don't have insurance. And they're saying that they have to pay for the endoscopy test. They have to pay the full price. And they've asked me, oh, well, if you really care about me, then you will send this, you will send money. And I said, no, I said, I do care about you. I was just like, but I'm not sending money. I was just like, I have never even spoke to you on the phone. We've never video chatted. I'm not sending money. I don't do that. I don't have enough money to send. And for the longest time, she told me she was an interior designer. She worked for a company, and it was her career, and she had been working there for a while. She loves her job, blah, blah, blah. And then come to find out, just 2 weeks ago, or just a week and a half ago, she finally told me it's not necessary, it's not an actual job. She is just an extra pair of hands, and she gets paid $50 a day in cash under the table. So it's not a job. She doesn't get a paycheck. They only need her when they are just very, very busy. So it went from her having a career and, her own apartment and stuff to just, oh, well, no, this place, I just work there. They just give me $50 a day. And because the reason she finally told me, how that works is because I told her, I said, well, you just told me last week you spoke to your boss and he was going to give you an advance so you can pay for your endoscopy. You said it would be $500 because they will advance you for up to 10 days. And you only get $50 a day, so that's $500. Well, later that week, when she was saying that she needed to take the test, that she had, she's already rescheduled it like 3 or 4 times. And every time she's about to go, she will end up asking, saying, oh, well, I need you to send money if you care about me. Well, this is the only way that I can prove that I really care about her, other than sending her good morning texts every day, asking how her day is, asking, if she's ate, if she slept well. Just, all of that stuff does not prove that I care about her. The only thing that can prove that I care about her, in her words, is showing that I can support her while she is where she's at. And that's not going to happen. I've never seen a relationship before the two people can even talk or meet face to face where the guy who was not even, who didn't even pursue this, like she got in touch with me, is trying to say, the only way I can prove that I am serious, and the only way she would, take the chance to want to come be with me, is by me showing that I can support her living where she is by sending money for, personal needs, to pay for an endoscopy test. And it's just like, I ended up telling her, I said, look, I was like, I don't have anywhere near the amount to pay for an endoscopy test. I was like, I'll help you, pay, partial of it. I said, but I'm not going to send you a gift card. I was just like, if you had a Cash App number on your phone, I said I would send money then. But she was sending me a number, and when I typed it into Cash App, it said, this number is associated with a scammer and fraud. So if you send your money, we cannot help you get it back. So I take a screenshot and send that and say, look, I'm not comfortable doing this. I've never had a warning before telling you this, so I'm not comfortable with it. And instead of, and I also said, look, if you can do Western Union, I said, I trust Western Union. You have to show them your ID, and you're the only one who can collect the money, because you have to show them your ID as long as I specify your name. She tried telling me she forgot her ID in Fresno because she was in Idaho visiting her aunt and her cousin. How can you travel by bus without your ID? So that was another red flag. And I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not sending money. I can't do that. I said, if you go do the test, I said, call me from the receptionist line, and I will make a partial payment using my card. And she was going to say, oh, I don't want you to give your information over the phone just in case. I'm just trying to be, I want it to be safe for you. And I was just like, first of all, that doesn't make sense. I'm offering to pay for your test or help pay for your test. And if I'm actually giving my number to the person who's running it, I said they're going to send me an email, showing me what they charged. But that was not good enough for her, because she actually wanted to hold the money herself to pay them. So That's another red flag. And then, like, when she was traveling on her way to her aunt's house, she was on a bus, and it's like I said, all she has is this Google text number. She was texting me throughout that journey, and before she left, she had told me, she's like, oh, well, you know, if you really want me to be comfortable, she was like, you could send me like, I think like $175 for a plane ticket, so she wouldn't have to ride the bus to Idaho. She could just, you know, fly. And I said, no, I said, I'm not doing that. Once again, I do not have the money. I only get a certain amount each month. So, and also in detail, she has had me break down all of my finances, all of my bills, all of the assets I have, everything. Because in a relationship, if you are going to be serious with someone, you start sharing things. So everything that is personal about my life and what I am willing to share, she has basically gotten out of me. And when she doesn't understand it fully, she will continuously saying, you're not answering the question right, or you're not answering it the right way. And I'm just like, well, look, like, if you don't understand it, sweetie, I don't know how else to type it to where I can make you understand. And meaning that if you just heard my voice, it's a lot easier to explain things than type it. And being that she is Spanish, she's not a white girl. She has a very thick accent because she finally called me this past Tuesday night. Yes, this past Tuesday night. And what's so crazy about that is she stood me up 3 times calling. The first 2 times, her excuse was she was just not in a good mood. That's why she did not call. Even though I had been waiting for an entire week. Just so excited to get this call. And even on like the night before, I said, are you still going to call me tomorrow? Because I'm so excited. She said, oh yes, I'm going to call you, blah, blah, blah. I can't wait to hear your voice. The day comes, nothing. So that night when she finally texts me, I was just like, I was so worried something had happened because you didn't call. And I was so excited and waiting for it. And her excuse was, oh, well, I just wasn't in a good mood. And I didn't feel like calling you. And then I said, okay, well, like, can we go ahead and set it up for, you know, like this weekend? And she came back with her response saying the way she wants to do it now is she will call me when she is ready because she wants it to be special. And I was just like, how? I said, why are you changing the terms and conditions for just to call me? Like the first 2 times you stood me up, you said it was just because, you know, you didn't feel like calling, you were in a bad mood. And now you're saying that you want it to be special when you call, or you want to know in your heart that I really care about you before you call and speak to me. And even though she keeps changing the rules and the terms and stuff, I was okay with that. Well, the very first disagreement we ever had is because she asked if she could use my number to create a Google Voice account. And by doing that, Google would send a verification code to my phone. And in that text, it says, do not share this code with anybody, because my phone number will be the one linked to that account regardless who is using it and what they're using it for. It's going to be linked to me. So if anything happens, she's in the clear. It would be traced back to me. And she asked me the first time she did it, and I kept asking, like, well, I don't understand, like, why do you need a Google Voice number? Like, you've already said you're not going to use it to call me. And then she even had a nerve to tell me to quit asking questions and acting like a detective, because she did not like that. She doesn't like how I ask her questions. I should just believe what she says and drop it and go like that. But yet, it's okay for her to ask me questions constantly, the same questions over and over. And even stuff that I don't even speak about with, like, my closest friends and people in my family. Like, she demands me to tell her in full detail about everything. So, coming up to the whole reason why I'm talking about this is because about a week and a half ago, last weekend, our last argument, besides the one from last night, the reason why I'm not sending a message today is because, once again, she said, like, that Friday, she had just disappeared. I didn't hear anything from her. So that night, when she finally texted me, I was like, hi. I said, I was really worried about you today. I had no idea if your stomach was bothering you, because, like, when she, 2-3 weeks ago, when she first got back to Fresno, she said that on a Saturday she was going to go to the gym. And see, she can't send me selfies and pictures because her cousin dropped her phone in a swimming pool like a year or so ago, and her camera doesn't work. It only works sometimes. So basically, the only time she can send me pictures are pictures that are previously taken. And so I'm not supposed to say anything about that because that's her business. Like, that's how it works. And this is, I'm not allowed to say nothing, because if it bothers her, she will say, oh, I don't appreciate you asking me this. Like, it really makes you look like you have trust issues and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, no. I was like, I want to know why it's going to be used. Like, there's going to be more of a reason than just all because I said so. I'm sorry, that's not how it works. So, the week before last, on the Friday, when I told her, I was like, well, why didn't you go to your appointment this week? You told me you were going to have your endoscopy done. And she said she couldn't get the money together. And I said, well, you told me that your boss said he was going to give you the $500, and you have been working. This is your second week working, so you should have, at least one paycheck or maybe 2 paychecks. And that's when she finally said, no, she said, the way it works here is I am just an extra pair of hands. She only gets $50 a day, and she gets paid under the table. And then when I asked her, I was just like, well, sweetie, I said, I thought you said, this was your career and that you had a chance for a promotion. And then she ended up sending a message saying, what do you not understand about this? She said, I just told you. I make $50 a day, and that is where I am at, blah, blah. And I was just like, okay, well, first of all, you don't need to be so defensive, because you told me for over 2 months now that you have had a career. A career means you get a steady paycheck. A career has insurance and benefits. Then she was telling me she had her own apartment. And about 2-3 weeks after we first started texting, all of a sudden one night she goes to a co-worker's house party. She comes home and somebody had robbed her apartment. And it's like I said, her camera doesn't work, but yet she was able to take pictures and send me pictures of how everything was broken into and robbed. And when I seen the pictures, somebody had literally taken their time inside her apartment to take all the condiments out of her refrigerator, make a big X and designs and stuff like on her fridge, on her floor. They dumped everything out. Supposedly, they got away with 2 laptops. Her savings, which she said she had like a little over $700 saved up and stuff, and all of it, you know, she kept in her apartment because she says that she doesn't use her bank because she had issues there. So she doesn't have a bank account. So, you know, that's another red flag, but yet I'm not allowed to ask anything about that because it's not my business. So, I tried telling her, well, if somebody stole 2 laptops, your money, your TV, and it's still broad daylight out, because the picture she sent me, you could clearly see the sunshine coming through the light, the windows. So I was just like, if you're at your apartment and there are so many people outside like watching you, because she was texting me and she said that the cops had just left. So it was just like, well, how did you call the cops if your phone, you know, if you can only text? So it's just so many things just, you know, don't add up, but like I'm not allowed to question it. And then she says while she's outside texting with me that all of her neighbors are just looking at her and probably thinking she's crazy because she is more concerned about texting on her phone to me because, you know, she's trying to answer my questions and stuff when she, you know, should be more focused on what had happened. And then when I told her, like, you know, you need to have somebody like check the security cameras, because somebody cannot just leave your apartment with a TV, your laptops, your stuff, and just not be seen at all. And she was like, yeah, you're right. And then I was just like, so I was like, who would have done this to you? I was like, because whoever did it, I said, if they were just like trying to hurry up and take your valuables, they would have not went through your kitchen. They would have not dumped flour, spices out. They wouldn't have used ketchup to make designs and X's, because they spent a good 30, 45 minutes inside just destroying it. And her response was, no, it's okay, sweet. It happened. I'm just going to move forward. And then she starts talking about how they stole her laptop, which had her work on it for her interior design, and how she was supposed to be preparing for a promotion the following week. And she said, and so I suggested, I said, you can go to Rent-A-Center and they can, you know, set you up with a laptop that has all the stuff you need on it. And before I could even finish typing that, she said that she had found a laptop that has the program she needs for her company, and that it was a little over $700, and that she would really appreciate it if I sent her $700 to show that I care about her and I can help her. And I was just like, no. I said, I can't do that. I said, I'm very sorry that happened. I said, and I'm trying to give you suggestions to help you. I was like, but I don't understand how you can just ask me to send you this and then get mad when I say no and try to give you suggestions to help you. Like, I mean, so fast forward through all of that, and even though, like, she just told me last week that it's not actually a career. Oh, and this is what happened. This is the whole reason that I really kind of like got upset last weekend, is because she said the reason she missed her appointment Friday is because her boss would not give her the advance. He told her to come to his office and he said, I will gift you the money, meaning he would give her the $500, but he wants something out of it. And he said that he would gift it to her, but she has to earn it. And she said that the rest of the day, her boss was very, very touchy and handsy with her. She said that it made her so uncomfortable because the entire time they were speaking or talking about a project, he had his hand on her back, rubbing her back. the very first relationship I was ever in, the first time I ever like fell in love, something like that happened with my girlfriend's employer. The reason she wouldn't say anything is because she didn't want to lose her job. Me being a man, when I hear stuff like that, I'm ready to just go and knock their fucking lights out, because you not do that shit to females. Especially when you are at least 2 times their age. And also, if you are the boss, and 1 week you say, I will give you the advance, like it says on, on our agreement, if you need an advance, we will give it to you. You can't just say, oh, well, that's not how it's going to work, but I'll give you the $500, but you have to earn it. That means all he wants to do is fuck her. Use her body. That's all. He didn't say, may I take you out to eat dinner and chat or something, and then you can have the money? Or he didn't say that. He did not want that. What he wanted was to get into her pants and fuck her. That's all he wanted. So after she told me that, of course, I'm going to be, angry about that, saying, look, that's not right. That is highly against the law. He can lose his job and go to jail for that. You don't have to put up with that. If he touches you, puts his hands on you, you can sue him for that. And she was just like, really? Like, I didn't know this. And then she said that she wasn't going to do anything because she didn't want to cause any problems or lose her job. And then, all right, I'm going to go ahead and stop and then do another video.